What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another week of Revolt Sports Weekly. I am so excited to get into all of this football world drama in general, in and out of retirement, ups and downs. But today I have a special guest in the house, y'all. Symone with the sports content creator, broadcaster, and Eagles fan. I'm so sorry for the week that you were on the show, but I'm glad you're here.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. Obviously, as an Eagles fan, I can't just always come out when, everything's going great. So still got to hold it down when things are a little rough.
Listen, I am an Atlanta Falcons fan, so you will be okay, girl. Sitting on that Super Bowl win. But we do have to talk about last Monday because, child, they had me up all night. So the Eagles played the Chargers, and it was a long overtime game, and it was turnover after turnover after turnover for the Eagles. They have now lost 3 in a row, bringing their record to 8-5 after how many interceptions by 4 interceptions by Jalen Hurts. What was your immediate reaction to the game? Because I believe you were there.
Just more of what we've been seeing over the past 2 games prior. Like, it's just been the same thing the past 3 weeks for the Eagles. It's been self-inflicted wounds, and it's been turnovers specifically. In the last 3 games, the Eagles have had 9 turnovers, which is just completely uncharacteristic of the team in the past 3 seasons. Last year in total, including the playoffs, the Eagles had 15 turnovers. And in a 3-game stretch, 9. So unfortunately, I wasn't surprised with what I saw on Monday night, just seeing how the team has been trending the last 2 games. They just can't get out their own way. And the worst part about the team is they're so talented, right? So they're not getting outmatched. They're literally beating themselves. They're 4 turnovers, 4 interceptions, and they still take the game into overtime. It still comes down to the final minutes of overtime. So that's the most frustrating part. It's if they could just get out their own way, get their heads out their own behinds, everything could be smooth for this team.
Well, and the Eagles' defense is incredible, keeping them in games. They have my Georgia Bulldogs' best prime full defense. So, the defense is keeping them in the game. We had Justin Herbert playing with a broken hand, which gagged me. I'm an NBA fan as well, and they would have been on that bench and had to tell Balenciaga, okay? Well, whose fault do you think it is that the Eagles are in such disarray?
I feel like it's so many people at fault. So throughout the season, and especially in this losing stretch, it's been undisciplined football. And usually when things are undisciplined, that's coming from up top. In the game against Dallas, they had 2 turnovers and they had 14 penalties. When it's mistakes and sloppiness that way, is usually giving leadership, in my opinion. What are y'all doing at practice? Are y'all communicating? Are y'all talking? It's silly little penalties like too many men on the field. Where is the communication? That's one big issue, is who is speaking at practice? Who is leading this group? Another issue is personnel on the offense. The offensive line has been taking a huge step back. The Eagles' bread and butter, throughout my lifetime as an Eagles fan, if there's one thing I could rely on, it was the offensive line, man. If I couldn't count on anything else, it was offensive line. This year, it's the upside down of Eagles' offensive line play. I don't know what's going on. It's been so many injuries, but also even when the guys are healthy, it's just so much confusion. It's miscommunications. There's so many false starts lined up the wrong way. Blocking has been terrible for Saquon Barkley, who is another issue number 2, Saquon Barkley. I don't know if it's the Madden curse, another curse, you've talked about on your own show.
Oh, girl. that Trump touch.
It could be a mix of that. Obviously, he had a huge workload last season, over 2,000 yards, so wear and tear on the body. Jalen Hurts hasn't been his best this season either. A.J. Brown hasn't been his best. It's been drops. It's been jogging routes. It's been not blocking. So it's just so many bad cooks in the kitchen right now. It's just hard to be oh, it's him, it's him, it's him. It's just you bow out. When your mom the kids are fighting. You don't care who started it. You just want the fight to stop.
Right. Everybody's in trouble.
Right.
I was waiting for you to bring up Jalen Hurts because obviously we've got Sirianni being asked if he's going to be benched. It's a lot of drama. People wondering if they're going to draft a quarterback or possibly replace him, like he replaced somebody else. How do you feel about Jalen was terrible on Monday night, but I do think we would be looking at the game a little bit differently if some beautiful passes were not dropped. If some things went a little bit different, we'd be looking at the game differently. I think his downfall was that interception at the very end of the game.
And when it rains, it pours. It's like, of course the game will end that way. And it's hard when you're a quarterback and you're having a game like that. It's hard to like fully like flush it away. That's why I still appreciate Jalen Hurts, because even when he's having a game like that, he's still staying aggressive, which is why we were able to stay in the game throughout the entire game. But the Eagles are not looking to replace Jalen Hurts. Like Nick Sirianni said, that's absurd. The Eagles have not missed the playoffs since Jalen Hurts has been a starter at quarterback. During the Jalen Hurts era, Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni have had one of the highest winning percentage combinations as an NFL and coach and quarterback in history. They're like in the top 6%. Jalen Hurts and Jeffrey Lurie is kissing Jalen Hurts on the cheek after the Super Bowl. And the Carson Wentz situation was extremely different. The Eagles never gave up on Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz wanted out. That's a huge misconception. Jalen Hurts was drafted as a backup quarterback to Carson Wentz. It was always Carson Wentz's team. After Nick Foles came in and won the Super Bowl for the Eagles gave Carson Wentz a bag. Even though you were sitting on the bench and we won the Super Bowl with somebody else, the Eagles paid Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is injured, so the Eagles bring in a backup quarterback who they clearly stated is a backup. He was a project at the time. As we see, it took him a couple of years to be ready to be a starter. Carson Wentz wanted out, so the Eagles let Carson Wentz out. It's not the same situation. Jalen Hurts would never give up on us like somebody else did.
I mean, why would he? He just won the Super Bowl. I always wonder, I guess you can have more of a viewpoint on this because you're an Eagles fan. What is it about Jalen Hurts that he is constantly doubted? I know that the Eagles have a lot going for them besides the quarterback. It's not a Patrick Mahomes situation where it's just him. But he also went up against Patrick Mahomes in the biggest game of the year twice and was better than Patrick Mahomes. He's a good quarterback. Why is everyone so accusatory when it comes to him?
I think, honestly, I've said this a million times, I can't boil it down to one thing, except I feel like a lot of men are jealous of Jalen Hurts. There's nothing else to, explain it. Jalen Hurts minds his business. Jalen Hurts, you never see him out being extra, doing anything. He never says anything out of pocket. He never calls out his teammates. He's never looking for extra attention. He's not on social media. So, what could you not like about Jalen Hurts? Even if you, might not be a fan of him, but why would you be a hater of him? I think it's because Jalen Hurts makes men insecure. I've tried to peel back layers for years. I've been doing deep dives and studies, and that's the only thing I can land on is Jalen Hurts is an icon at this point. People weren't expecting that. People don't watch the NFL, but they know Jalen Hurts. These people's wives, these people's girlfriends, these talking heads, their wives and girlfriends know Jalen Hurts. So, I mean, that's all I can chalk it up to.
And child, I loved how you said he's not looking for any extra attention because he's not, and he still gets it. And I think there's not a lot of people like that in the world, and he's one of those people.
Right.
He's never searching for a moment. After winning the Super Bowl, he didn't want to do that press tour.
Nope.
He was on them talk shows yeah, you got to keep the main thing.
Literally. And that makes other men, I guess, insecure. I guess Jalen is who they want to be. A symbol of masculinity, and all the ladies want him, and he won the Super Bowl MVP. A lot of guys look at that and they're I can't, they got to tear him down. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Listen, I will say he doesn't help with the 4 interceptions. Listen, Jalen, you're not helping. You're not helping.
I know, right?
by not taking care of business on the field. But everybody has a bad game here and there.
Okay, like every season, somebody got a game like that. Like Sam Darnold, Seahawks are so this and that. Sam Darnold had a 4 interception game. Daniel Jones, their king, the MVP of the season, he had 4 interceptions against the Steelers this season. You don't hear nothing. Crickets. Jalen had a bad game. Child, I could barely come outside. Like,
no, I feel you. Speaking of the Colts and Daniel Jones. Okay, so as y'all know, Daniel Jones is out with a torn Achilles, which means that he probably won't be back until next December, which terrible time to have a season-ending injury or a year-long injury in December. It's the most important time of the season. At one point, we were talking about them like they were the best team in the NFL, and now they are calling up the alumni, y'all. Phillip Rivers is 44 years old and starting in the NFL against the Seahawks team that has an incredible defense that is going to be sharks smelling blood. I am wondering what his wife and kids, and apparently he's a grandpa, are thinking about this. What do you think about Phillip Rivers and his return to the NFL?
Okay, first I was like flabbergasted, and I still am, because I thought, okay, you have to keep a certain amount of quarterbacks on the roster.
Right.
So I thought this was just a situation where it's like a practice squad body. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way Phillip is even going to practice, even going to put on pads, even going to come out to the facility. And to see it progress this way to where right now on Friday before the game, he is the presumed starter, I am like, my jaw is just on the floor. I'm scared for the man. Like, what?
It feels like malpractice.
It does. It's like elder abuse or something. Like, there's no way.
And I also feel like even looking at the Browns and their whole quarterback drama and Shedeur being 4th on the list, Shedeur Sanders being 4th on their list, presumed first rounder. It's like, y'all didn't have any other, there's not like a backup to the backup to the backup.
Right.
How did we come to taking a 44-year-old man off the couch from high school coaching who's a grandfather and putting him on the roster? How did we get there?
So grandpa is crazy because, yes, he is, I believe he is a grandpa. It's crazy. Basically, their backup quarterback is dealing with something. The backup to the backup is dealing with something as well, which is also malpractice, as you said, because why would you even have a situation where even if Daniel Jones was healthy at this point, you still don't have a quarterback 2 or 3 who could go? Like, what if Daniel Jones, like, what if there was no Phillip Rivers or whatever available? Like, what were y'all going to do? That's still malpractice being in this situation. I don't know what to think on Sunday. I'm just scared for Phillip because I'm an NC State alum. Phillip Rivers is like one of the only best things. Y'all know y'all got everybody at UGA. We got Phillip Rivers and Bradley Chubb. So I'm like, please don't embarrass Wolfpack Nation. I'm already seeing like tweets online like this is so NC State to do for Phillip to be doing this. But yeah, they're saying he's the presumed starter on Sunday. So he ended his career with the Colts, obviously made a name for himself with the Chargers. So he has some overlap with Shane Steichen, who is the current head coach. Shane Steichen was either he was on the offensive staff. I don't know exactly what his position was at the time. So it's like, oh, he has some overlap with Shane Steichen. He knows what Shane Steichen likes, yada, yada, yada. But I'm like, that was 5 years ago, and Shane Steichen wasn't even the head coach. Was it even his full system? How much does this man know?
I am curious if there were any other retired quarterbacks. I also wonder if there are quarterbacks that are like waiting on their opportunity, like undrafted guys that would have wanted that opportunity. But for the fun of it, I saw Cam Newton being like, oh, they should have called me. Are there any other retired quarterbacks that you think they could have called before they called on Phillip Rivers?
Definitely Cam. I was a little bit shocked. Like, I definitely would have called Cam before I called Phillip Rivers because Cam, we can see, is in shape. Like, we see on social media, he's working out, he's in shape. We can see on his podcast, he's in shape.
Right.
We saw Phillip Rivers came to the press conference and he looked like a grandpa, you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't been working out in 5 years. Even when he was all the way out the league, he wasn't even really in shape.
Right.
So we're saying like, oh, he hasn't played in 5 years and he was old 5 years ago. I saw they called Derek Carr. Derek Carr was a good look. Derek Carr retired. He dealt with a few injuries towards the end of his career, so he kind of like just made the decision to retire before any more injuries piled on. I think Derek Carr would have been a way better look. Like, Derek Carr has at least been, competitive in the last couple of years.
Right. That was what I was curious about. Why didn't they call Colin Kaepernick up?
I know, bro. You know they wasn't gonna call Colin, bro. They would have called freaking Tom Brady out the booth before they called Colin Kaepernick, bro.
I don't see why. You're desperate.
They're never desperate enough to go to Colin. You know they hate that man.
For kneeling, though.
Right.
Like, it's not that serious.
Right.
Call that man and give him an opportunity.
I know. It's like, if it's a slap in the face to anybody, it's a slap in the face to Colin, because y'all know that man been ready, waiting for a job.
Listen, and the NFL is not trying to give it to him. You could get canceled in the NFL for anything, but no, they can do anything in the NFL. But kneeling, that's where they draw the line.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
So, speaking of quarterbacks who are getting canceled for no reason, Shedeur Sanders. So, Shedeur Sanders, this whole saga I've been very vocal about it. I feel very passionately about that young man getting an opportunity. We obviously watched his fall from grace, get humbled in front of the whole world. The Browns go through every option they got but playing Shedeur Sanders. And then they finally have to play him. And he does well. Worst case scenario for them, right? And then in this game where he throws for over 300 yards, he's the best player on the field. He looks incredible. They take him out in the most important part of the game. I was flabbergasted. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, it was the same for me, especially because your season is over with for the Browns. They try to play it like, oh, this was a strategy, something we've been working on in practice. This is what we prepare for in this moment, and if we ever went for 2. The season is over with. Like, at this point, all you're really trying to do is build up your rookie quarterback, his confidence, him in different situations, him in different moments. That's the main thing when we talk about keeping the main thing at this point for the Browns. So to act like it was some deep strategy trying to beat the Titans and, everything goes out the window except, what we planned for in this moment, that is some bull. Same with Cap, they have the same situation with Shedeur. I don't know what the issue is. Why your guy is balling. He's been shown this is not just a fluke game. That's the second game where he's performed well. So I don't get the situation over there.
And when you have a quarterback in the NFL, they're the most important player on the field. And we were just talking about this with Jalen Hurts having a bad game, and it's hard for a quarterback to have a bad game like that because you are the driver of the entire offense. That person needs to have confidence. That person needs to feel very good about themselves to be able to be in a situation where they're like, okay, I can drive this bus. You have this rookie. He's a kid. He's literally a child. They pulled this kid out of college. I don't understand why you would take this young man and every opportunity you get, you break his confidence down another level. You have him play amazing in his first NFL start. You barely acknowledge him. You don't give him the game ball. That was an opportunity to say, hey, let me build you up. Let me make you feel confident. Then you have him go out there, have a good game. Not a great game, but a good rookie debut, right? Things he can improve upon. He improves upon them against the Titans. We see him play incredible. And then when you have the opportunity to put the ball in his hands in the most important moment, you take it. It's another shot to the confidence. Mm-hmm. And Shedeur told us it didn't work in practice. So why are we doing it in the game?
And that's why the Browns are the Browns. I mean, they've had so many blunders specifically at quarterback since I've been alive. That's why they've been irrelevant since we've been alive. They're just an organization that just can never get it right. I don't know, what the issue is up top, but they just set in their mind that they don't want Shedeur Sanders. I'm just hoping and praying they end up trading Shedeur to a better situation, release him, free him, like let him go somewhere else where he could thrive. And that's the best thing, honestly, for Shedeur. Shedeur has been handling the media so well. Even there's been so many traps that Shedeur could have fell for when it comes to the media, but he keeps handling himself so well on the field, handling himself extremely well. Even when you see him dealing with his teammates, even when he was in the way back of the quarterback line, waited his turn, patient, answered everything correctly, said all the right things, moment came, balled out. So as far as marketing goes for a potential trade, I hope he really gets an opportunity to go somewhere else.
Well, and the fans love him.
Yeah.
He is one of the highest selling jerseys in the NFL as a 5th round pick. He's cheap. He's a 5th round pick. He's playing well. And I feel bad for him. They announced him to be the starter for the rest of the season. I feel for him because he doesn't have the opportunity as a rookie to be a rookie and make those mistakes that we would allow any other rookie to make. Everybody who's a rookie is playing, you know? I mean, look at Caleb Williams and how he started off and how everybody was like, this guy, I'm not sure. I mean, that's how it's supposed to be when they're a rookie. They're supposed to look not that great.
Yeah.
And then you build around them. Everything is supposed to be put in place for them to succeed. This team is literally setting him up to fail, and he's still succeeding. He has very little margin for error. I think that whatever happens in these 4 games, it could go a few ways. He could play incredible and really build himself up to be a starter or a really high quality backup for another team. Or he could play really incredible and the Browns want to keep him possibly. But what do you think is best case scenario for Shedeur coming out of these 4 games? Is it possible that the Browns want to keep him, or is it done? They're going to trade him.
If I'm Shedeur, I do not want to be in Cleveland. Like, unless there's going to be some organizational change, which will they make one? Is it even just the coach, or is the coach, the mouthpiece for the higher ups? That's the first question. Like, everybody's mad at Stefanski, and Stefanski is, the decision maker that we see. You know what I mean? But is Stefanski playing for the owners? Essentially, that's the question. So if it's Stefanski is the problem, then the best case scenario for Shedeur Sanders is to look good these last 4 games, develop, and they get a new coach in Cleveland. Cleveland still suck. Might as well bring in a new coach anyways. But if it's like up top and they're not making any organizational changes, if I'm Shedeur Sanders, I want up out of there, because it's just nobody has grown in Cleveland. Like, quarterbacks in Cleveland, where they at? Like, nobody has coming out of Cleveland.
In Tampa doing much better than they were?
And not anymore, because Baker, baby, that oven has turned off. Okay, he is not baking anything anymore. So, he had his little magic
it's
run.
It's still
better. Yeah, but we want Shedeur to, be better than,
what we're seeing with
what we're seeing right now.
But I mean, at least Baker's getting an opportunity to shine.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are forgetting the Deshaun Watson of it all.
Deshaun, Johnny Manziel's, they had somebody else I'm forgetting about in my era. They've had a whole bunch of quarterbacks that it's just disarray. It just what happens. Just cold cases,
right.
Files that just went cold. And you're like, where did they go? You know what I mean? And they pull them out later. And it's like, what happened to this guy? So if I'm Shedeur, I would have never wanted to go to the Browns anyway. But
I'm sure he did it. I mean, by the time he went to the Browns, I'm sure he was happy to go anywhere.
Right.
But he didn't want to go to Cleveland.
Right. So his best case scenario is just to get up. And that's for anybody, not even just Shedeur. Like, get up out of Cleveland, man. Unless you Myles Garrett, get up out of there.
Well, you know what sucks? And this actually just came to mind for me just now. About how Dion and Shedeur were saying that he didn't want to play for the Ravens because he wanted to start, and playing behind Lamar Jackson, he would never get to start. Well, Lamar Jackson was hurt.
And Lamar Jackson is always hurt. And I love Lamar, but Tyler Huntley stay getting playtime. Like, if I was a rookie, I would love to go to Baltimore, because one thing that's going to happen is Lamar is going to miss 3 to 4 games a season. That team is loaded. I'm out here, throwing to Zay, handing off to Derrick Henry. That's a great backup quarterback job. Like, everybody loves Tyler Huntley. So I don't know why they didn't want the Ravens. Like, you're going to
Definitely
play
should have
out
gone to
there.
the Ravens. I mean, the Bengals, I would love to be a backup quarterback.
Like, that's the prime spot. You're going to get plenty of playing time. San Francisco,
whole
plenty
team
of
built
playing
for the
time.
quarterback to succeed and the quarterback always out. I would
And
love to be
always
there.
out, literally. Like, so I don't know. They were tripping there.
Listen, and making all these choices, and then they got humbled for sure. But I'm sure this whole experience for Shedeur has been very enlightening in his life experience because, child, they said no more of this. But he's definitely shown their prayers are working because they did everything to make sure he wouldn't get an opportunity, and he still did.
Child. And I mean, it was kind of lined up that way. Like, look who they had in front of him. They ain't build no formidable, like, quarterback room force to keep him off the field. Like, Joe Flacco, we knew, come on now. Dylan Gabriel, come on now. Kenny Pickett, like, they had bodies in that room, but it always looked like Shedeur was going to play at some point based on the bodies in that room.
Right. It's very unserious. I want Shedeur out of Cleveland.
And Deshaun, I forgot about Deshaun.
Well, and they're paying him so much money, they're going to have to play Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
They made him the highest paid quarterback in history. They going to have to play him because it would be a waste of their money if they didn't. When he's back, they're going to have to play him. If I were Shedeur, I want up out of there. The whole organization from top to bottom is a mess.
And once they opened up that 21-day practice window for Deshaun Watson, I was like, crazy, boy. Because he could come back any moment now.
Oh yeah, they do not want Shedeur to succeed. It's time to go. If I'm Dion, I'm pulling all the stops. I'm calling in all the favors I got. It's time. Now let's get into this next week of football and our predictions because we've got a lot of crazy stuff going on. Lions versus Rams, which is always a good one because of all of that quarterback drama. Bills versus Patriots. Cowboys versus Vikings. Every Cowboys game is news now because they've got to win out. Packers versus Broncos. Chiefs versus Chargers. I mean, your Eagles are playing the Raiders, right? So hopefully they'll be fine.
Hopefully. Child.
I think they'll be all right in that one. The Eagles they could win out.
They could, if they stop being dumb. But.
Right. But based on how close that last game was, if they just play okay, the offense.
That's what I'm saying. If they just reduce their BS by 10%, like they don't even have like one less turnover a game, one less flag, delete one flag. Nobody's even asking y'all to be perfect. Just don't be a hot mess.
Right. And AJ Brown and all them drops. Anyways, we already read them to filth. It's fine. Lions versus Rams. What are you thinking about that?
I gotta go with the Rams. The Lions, they're just they're dealing with an injury to their defense, and they gonna need their defense this week. The Rams are just they supercharged, bro. I know they took was it last week they lost to the Panthers?
Not last week, but yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, but the Rams not losing to. Well, they won last week. I don't know. I can't keep 1 weeks because the Eagles just had me in a. The Rams aren't losing to the Lions though. The Lions defense is just not going to be enough. The Rams look scary.
It feels like their defense is always injured when they are in the most important parts of their season. And at the most inopportune times, it's like, well, the Lions are injured. That is so unfortunate.
Yeah, they've been through a lot. It sucks because the Lions, obviously, these past 3 seasons, they've had the roster to do some things, boy, and they still looking for that one Super Bowl, but now it look like that window is closing. Hate that for them. I'm so glad we got our Super Bowl in our window, at least one, baby, because that
I hope their window's not closed because I feel for them.
It's not closed, but the door is like
it's cracked. The door's cracked.
Yeah, the door is cracked.
More on the closed side.
Right.
Yeah, you got to sneak through that one. Bills Patriots.
This one is tough. It's really tough. The Patriots have been playing so well. The Bills, again, when it comes to the defense, the Bills' defense is just leaky, boy.
Oh, and I know they're my fantasy defense.
Oh, they're your fantasy defense?
Yes,
girl. Their defense is just so leaky. I don't know. Bills need wins. And I know the Bills, another team who should have won, and when their window was wide open, Patriots was dead in the water for a few seasons. Bills in the pole position, and they couldn't capitalize. Now the Patriots are back alive, and now the Bills are spinning. door creaking closed on that Super Bowl window.
What's unfortunate for the Bills, too, is this is their time to win a Super Bowl. If this team was good, because think about it, the Ravens are a mess. The Chiefs are a mess. Those are the two teams and quarterbacks that have been in their way all of these years. This was Josh Allen's opportunity to skate his way to the Super Bowl without having to face either of them.
Yep.
And so it's unfortunate. I said last week on the show that I don't feel like people are willing to accept the era we're in the NFL because the teams that are the most sexy for us typically aren't that good. The Eagles are a lot better than I feel like people give them credit for. They just make stupid mistakes sometimes.
You don't gotta do all that because I'm here.
No, I really feel that way. I've said that every week. Every week I feel like it's like when the Eagles lose, it's like hell or high water. It's so dramatic. And it's because of the way they do it, like an interception at the very end of overtime, like that. It's because of the dramatics of it all. The A.J. Brown post. That's why with the Eagles, but they are a lot better than people give them credit for. But the Broncos, the people don't want to, they're like, where are the Chiefs?
Right.
Where's Lamar Jackson? I wanted to see that story. And I think the Patriots are real. I don't think it's a false alarm. I see them beating the Bills this week.
Yeah, the Patriots are for real. And the Bills are in extreme trouble. Like you said, they couldn't get it done when they had the teams to do it, when they had Stephon Diggs. Now he with the Patriots. And now the Patriots are back. So now they don't got to deal with the Chiefs and the Ravens, but now you got the Broncos. Now you got the Patriots in your own division. Like, they was divisional lot for the last couple of years. Didn't even have to worry about the division. Now, can they even get out the division? But yeah, the Patriots going to win this game because the Bills' defense is just giving it out.
Yeah, and defense wins championships.
Okay,
Listen.
say it again.
You know, you're an Eagles fan. And you got my Georgia Bulldogs defense, right. So we both know. Cowboys, Vikings.
I feel like, shoot, okay, first of all, I'm obviously, okay, like I got certain things going on, okay? The Vikings are just so inconsistent. You don't know what you're going to get from the Vikings each and every week, especially with the quarterback situation over there. Dallas, you don't know what you're going to get each and every week from that defense. Now, if Dallas's defense show up, we know pretty much Dallas going to put up 30 points, right? The thing is, the Vikings are capable of putting up points too, depending on how Dallas's defense show up. Dallas at home, though, they be cooking them books, boy. Vegas be working, okay? So it's just hard to pick against Dallas at home because they got that freaking wizard working for them out west in Vegas. But yeah, the Vikings are just so inconsistent. I just don't know what Vikings team is going to show up. I'm praying for Minnesota, though. Skull, baby. Skull.
This whole Cowboys, I'm curious your position on it as an Eagles fan. Their playoff race, everyone's obsessed with this. They have 17% chance. They're good this week, and then they're bad this week, and then they're hot, and then they're not. And what are you thinking about their ceiling this season? Are they going to the playoffs?
They're just an okay team. They're just inconsistent. Their defense is just Dallas has a high-power offense. Like, that's been no doubt about it this season. Their issue this entire season has been their defense. They've had excuses and reasons and all types of whatnots. They made their little trade for Quentin Williams, and then they got Kenny Clark for that Micah Parsons trade. Kenny Clark woke up, the past couple of weeks, and, they added Quentin Williams at the trade deadline. Quentin Williams has definitely added a punch. They're still mid, though, because their defense is mid. They just have a really good offense and a mid defense. If they squeak their way into the playoffs, they're a first-round exit like they always are. Like, there's no buzz to this but Dallas being a trendy name for them to talk about.
And Jerry Jones doesn't care if they're a first round exit.
He doesn't care about none of it.
The check go clear regardless.
It's going to clear regardless.
So that man does not
They're going to show up and drink them Cowboy Ritas regardless.
I want to go to a Cowboys game so bad.
I do too. I ain't even going to lie because it's lit out there. It do.
I got to experience that. And I've been very vocally a hater, but if I do go, don't throw me shade when I'm drinking a Cowboy Rita and I'm in my jersey and I'm like, go back.
You cannot put on a jersey though. Please, girl, please.
They're cute. Like, everyone knows I'm such a fickle fan.
You can still go out and drink the Cowboy Ritas. You can still put on some boots. just please do not show up in my feed in a Dallas jersey.
Let's see.
Please.
I've dressed up as a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader for Halloween one time.
That's
so let's see.
acceptable.
That's acceptable. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. The Cowboys are, I don't care about them. Packers Broncos. That's a good one.
This the game of the week, bro. I feel like the Packers are going to win this game. The Packers are I feel like the Packers are the most complete team the Broncos have faced this season. And I'm not one of the people like, oh, the Broncos aren't real or whatever. Like, the Broncos are a solid team. The Packers defense, though, I feel like is going to come and punch them in the mouth. Yeah. And the Packers, these past couple of weeks, like, the Packers have been a team that have just been getting some quality wins. They've been looking good these past couple of weeks. Everybody is like, oh, well, do I trust Jordan Love? Do I not? Yada, yada, yada. Jordan Love has been consistently winning regular season for sure, but, like, Jordan Love is a quarterback that has some playoff success. I don't know why Jordan Love kind of gets the shade that he does, but I feel like they're going to come up in, I think it's in Denver. I feel like they're going to punch Denver in the mouth, bro.
The Jordan Love thing, he kind of gets the Jalen Hurts treatment to me in the sense that no matter what he does, it's kind of like if they lose, they win, and he's getting questioned. Do you trust him? Do you trust him? Do you trust him? Would you trust him? Could he be? He always gets questioned.
Now. I do have to draw a line in the sand between.
It's not the same thing.
No. But the difference between Jordan Love, the reason why the Jalen Hurts disrespect is extra disrespectful versus Jordan Love's disrespect is because in the big games, Jalen Hurts rises up. Now, the problem with Jordan Love is in the big games, Jordan Love, you know, he a little shaky. You know what I mean? Once they get to the playoffs, it's like Jordan Love is a little rattled.
Right.
When we in the playoffs, baby, Jalen Hurts is stone cold killer. You know, when it's the big moments in those big games, Jalen Hurts is stone cold killer. Okay, so that's the difference. Right.
That's fair. That's fair. It's kind of like everybody's waiting on Jordan Love's inevitable fail in the playoffs because in big games we haven't quite seen what we get to see from Jalen Hurts. Yes. He's still young.
He is kind of.
He's not 44.
Yeah.
He's not Aaron Rodgers either.
Right.
Chiefs, Chargers. I got the Chargers. I can go ahead and get that out the way.
Yeah,
right
I have the Chargers. The Chiefs, they just look lifeless, man. It's like that little, you know, when they poking a little and it's like do something. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they'll show a little spunk, a little spark, but they just haven't been able to play good football for an entire game. I just feel like the Chargers, and the Chargers defense is solid. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of our issues were on ourselves, but the Chargers' defense is solid. Their offense is good, too. I think the Chargers win the game.
Yeah, no explanation needed. The Chiefs are not them this season.
Yeah.
It's over. The dynasty is over. Everyone thinks that Travis Kelce's going to retire.
He might as well.
Yeah.
He would have retired if he didn't look so bad in Super Bowl last year.
Right. Or if they won.
Yeah.
He would have 100%. I would have retired right there at the press conference.
Right.
I'm done.
Right. Like Brandon Graham did.
Yeah, and they on the mountain. I also like to see people go out while they're still a little bit on top. Not that he's on top right now, but I don't want to see, you know, you breaking your ankles and you're struggling, you looking old out there. I would rather Travis Kelce just go out while he's on top, go marry Taylor Swift, get your little retirement bag, marry Taylor Swift, and move on. It ain't no need to keep doing the football thing.
Right.
Now, the biggest news in the football world. We cannot have a sports show this week without talking about it. The University of Michigan and Sherrone Moore. Sherrone Moore was fired for having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member and then promptly arrested for an alleged assault. Now, there's been a lot of speculation, but what it sounds like is he got into an altercation with his wife, threatened to hurt himself, then left there, went to an unnamed staffer's house. I wonder who that was. Also threatened to do harm to himself. His wife allegedly gave his location, his Find My Friends, to the authorities, where they found him at a local church and arrested him. As far as right now, filming this on a Friday morning, he is still in police custody. What do you think about this, Sherrone?
Okay, but you ate that.
Thank you.
It was given very much like, breaking news out of Michigan.
That's the journalism degree coming into play here.
I was like getting all like emotional, like I didn't know the story.
Period.
I couldn't believe the events unfolded. It's like every time I refreshed my timeline, it was a new update, and like the way it just it unfolded so quickly, because usually in a situation where it's like, somebody doing something with somebody, it takes us 2 days to find out who the person was, and then a few more days until we get like an update from the person. The fact that it all unfolded so rapidly was like something off of like a movie.
I made a video about him getting arrested. And within a couple hours, my phone is blowing up. He got arrested. He got arrested. He got arrested. There is no way I would have never predicted that, for him to go crazy like that.
Right.
It seems that the school had investigated this situation months ago. They got wind of the fact that he was messing with somebody who works there, okay? Allegedly a subordinate, and allegedly his executive assistant, whose salary was doubled between the years of 2024 and 2025. She had a $50,000 increase in her salary. This is all public record. To leave such a paper trail and be so careless, and then to hear Adam Schefter report that he feels like people were out to get him, it seems like this was something he expected to be covered up, and it wasn't. And he was very upset when it all came out into the public.
So it's given, he thought Michigan was going to have his back if this came out, and Michigan was like, release him.
Release him.
1, 2, 3, release him. I agree. I did see your video, and I do agree with the fact that I feel like if Michigan wanted that man to stay, this would have just been brushed up under the rug. Like, we wouldn't even heard about this, especially since it was a consensual, as far as we know, a consensual relationship. It would have been a he grown, she grown, they agree, whatever happens between the families, between them type of situation. And by 2 years from now, we would have forgot this even happened. But yeah, it's and they don't have to pay the man because they had cause. It's definitely given they was ready for Sherrone to get up out of there.
He threw his whole life away for an affair. He has a wife and 3 daughters. I'm not even going to say children, because them being daughters specifically is important to mention. He lost his job. He lost getting paid with losing his job. I always say I would love to be a professional or a college coach that gets fired and gets paid millions to do nothing.
Right.
He didn't even get that because he was so careless with the way he was carrying out this affair. And on top of that, we're not even talking about the quiet part, which is that he was the first Black head football coach in Michigan's history. That is a top 5 job. People want that job. Michigan plays in the biggest game of the year, Michigan-Ohio State, no matter how good they are, every single year. And to have a Black man sit in that seat, everyone has heard the conversations about how Black coaches don't get opportunities. Straight up. It's not the same for us. It's just not, which is crazy because the majority of the sport is Black, but you see how the cookie crumbles. And for you to get that opportunity and below it, I did an interview with Malika Andrews a long time ago where she told me that one thing that she always thinks about is like being a Black girl sitting in her position and sitting in her seat. She doesn't want to mess that up or appear unprofessional or do something wrong because she doesn't want to be the person that ruins the opportunity for the next Black girl to get to sit in her seat. And that's exactly what Sherrone Moore did with his actions. Because not only did you get fired from the job, it wasn't like you just weren't coaching well. It was ghetto.
Yeah.
With irrefutable evidence.
But Sherrone, I'm sorry, the name keeps throwing me off. I don't know why. I keep wanting to say Sherrone, but Sherrone don't care about that because Sherrone don't see color. Because he is not feeling like he represents Black people. He already said
he don't see color.
He did the whole job of, I don't see color. I got a Caucasian wife. I don't represent the black community. I'm my own man. He did all that.
I didn't know that.
Yes, because Jamel Hill bit on him heavy. Since, yeah, so he don't care about, I'm the first black coach at Michigan. He's probably like, I'm just one of many great coaches at Michigan.
And that's exactly why he's sitting where he's sitting, in jail.
Yup.
You don't see color, but they do.
Right.
I can promise you they do.
That's the thing. Like, in reverse, like, you playing yourself. Like, if anything, you might have had some support for the black community. We might have been up here saying, man, they should have let Sherrone go.
I don't know. I don't know if I can stand beside you with that one. Sleeping with your coworker, that's messy.
But Sherrone apparently, like, had a trail of, like, following, young women around. Yeah, like, they went through his followers, and it was given, like, very much, like, OnlyFans. Instagram baddies. So this definitely was not, as far as the wife goes, I don't think this is her first time, like, peeping something like this with her man.
I mean, you work in sports. Of course it wasn't.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. So that's the only, like, because, everybody's like, oh, my goodness, the wife. I do think she probably saw this coming. I don't think she was blindsided.
Oh, yeah. And I feel for her for the public eye piece and the fact that apparently she just had a baby last summer.
Oh, no.
Cheating on a pregnant woman should get you arrested. That is insane to me. That is a disgusting, deplorable act to cheat on a pregnant woman. So I think that is crazy. But do I think that she's completely blindsided and had no idea? Oh, HR was investigating this. You don't think his wife was investigating it? I would be full FBI in that phone, figuring everything out.
Once I saw that raise, I would have been like, raise? Right.
What she do? What's she doing so good to get
$50,000? I would have definitely been like, what's going on? Started my Google.
Eyebrow. Hold on. $50,000. I would have been in that following.
That would have been the red flag right there. I would like, why you ain't get that raise?
You know your husband is following IG baddies.
Right.
You know that. So I feel for her for the public eye piece because she probably didn't want to be propelled into the media this way, but she definitely knew what was going on. And another thing I want to say that's probably a little controversial is don't mess with a man with 3 kids and a wife. She was a subordinate, so there was a power dynamic at play here, and I'm very aware of that, and I don't like that. I think that is disgusting, and I think that is weird on his part, and he is a weirdo. But working in sports as a woman, if there's anything I can say to y'all, because you will get DMs, and these weird things will happen, and people will make you feel, if you're uncomfortable, it's wrong, don't answer him. I mean, I don't know the full dynamics, if it was consensual or full details, but if it was what we're hearing, you should not have been messing with that man with a wife and 3 kids at home and putting your job in jeopardy and putting the team at jeopardy and putting the program at jeopardy. I don't know if she's going to get fired or if she's going to see consequences because of this. Also, apparently her father is an executive for, I think, the Bears or the Browns or
some NFL team. So she got money.
Yeah, and she knows she knows the game.
Yeah.
So you're not stupid. You should not have been messing with that man. I feel for her that her life is now in the public eye as well. But I do think that there needs to be somebody saying, like, look, if you're a young woman working in any field, leave these men, don't where you eat. Don't.
And yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like, when I saw this whole story, I wasn't even thinking like, oh, Sherrone, messing up stuff for black people. It's, us as women in sports, and it's like this girl, because now it's like anybody in these executive assistant roles, they're going to be looking at them like, okay, executive assistant. Okay, executive assistant.
Oh, you got a raise?
Right. Like, they're going to be looking at all the executive assistants side-eyed, like the ones who's legitimately doing their jobs. Like, they're going to be scrutinized, be looked at with, under a microscope because of situations like this. Like, that ruins it for everybody because everybody already think women in sports, we just out here just giving it out. You know what I'm saying? They already think that. So that's who I feel like got ruined the most in this image with Sherrone.
Yeah, because you see all these comments and they're bringing up other female reporters who had situations. And it's unfortunate also as women in sports that we even have to have this conversation because a woman should never be like blamed for a man's actions against his own family and his own program and his own job. He was supposed to be a leader in that situation and wasn't. He was supposed to be the adult in that situation and he wasn't. So that's really unfortunate. But just know if you are a woman in business, in sports, in any scenario, you got to keep your head on a swivel and don't mess with these men at your work. I don't care who he is. Leave that alone because you will mess up your job and your image. And if you don't lose your job, your name will be plastered all over Twitter and all over every newspaper and everywhere. And they aren't going to look at the man because he already, we expect this from a man. They're going to be looking at you. I didn't like that either. Thank you for tuning in to another week of Revolt Sports Weekly. Y'all, make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, okay? And follow Revolt Sports on social media so you can be a part of the conversation.